ready for true happiness, for deep fulfillment, for feeling alive, on purpose, and in control of your life again? It's time to be the bold, brilliant, beautiful woman you were born to be. Welcome to the PurposeGirl podcast. I'm women's happiness and life purpose expert Karen Rockkind, and I'm going to teach you how to live on purpose, feel alive, and be happy in every aspect of life. I'm going to get real about my life and interview women who are living on purpose so that you can finally live yours. Welcome to the show.
Hello, 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 Purpose Girls. So times are a little crazy. Times are really crazy. In fact, unprecedented crazy. And you don't need me to talk to you about COVID-19 or what is happening around the world. And we could spend a lot of time talking about how scary this is. And what I prefer to do here on the Purpose Girl podcast is to share with you where I see hope and share with you the techniques that I am now needing to double and triple down on, techniques from positive psychology, techniques from ancient feminine wisdom that resides in our bodies, techniques and tools that will allow us to not only quote unquote manage this stress, but to rise above in feminine leadership, in light, in love. Because what I know now, I am more certain than ever, listening to my clients, hearing where they are, and I'm going to share some of what I'm hearing and their experiences of how they're actually finding purpose in this crazy, painful, fearful time. I am more sure than ever that what is needed now is women's leadership, feminine women's love, women's compassion, women's tools, and women's expertise. And so today's episode of the Purpose Girl podcast is all about how do we manage this stress? How do we work with it? How do we overcome it? How do we rise above it and step into being the goddesses on purpose that we were born to be? Leading this world, leading our families, leading our communities, leading ourselves at this time. You are in for a great show. I'm going to share tons of science. I'm going to share tons of tools. So grab your journal, buckle up, my friends. Here we go. Of course, first, I want to share our review of the week. It is a 5-star review called "Thank You for Helping Me Break Free." This is from Anna Banana over in the United States. And she says, thank you, Karen and team. I've been listening to your podcast since last year and been inspired by every word from you and your lovely guests. Aw, thank you, Anna Banana. I have felt stuck in my career, and by listening to your advice about living our purpose and facing our fears led me to quit my job, and now I'm going after my passions. Yes, Anna, you are amazing, and thank you for inspiring so many of us to live our purpose. You are so welcome, Anna. It is my privilege. It is my pleasure. And I want to hear what your passions are. Please, please, please keep me updated. What are you doing now, girl? I want to hear. So Anna, you are actually such a great example. I don't pick out the reviews of the week. My team does. They just send it to me. And you're such a great example of what we need now, which is overcoming fear and really feeling into who am I? What is this life all about? What am I here to do? Like really, 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 what do I want and what do I desire? Now, I know that it is challenging to think about these things. I am finding some clients that is all they're thinking about right now. And maybe you're one of these people where in the midst of crisis, it really makes you pause and think, what is the purpose of this life? Like, why are we here anyway? For me, when I was robbed at gunpoint more than 10 years ago, that was my wake-up call. Like, what am I here for? What am I doing? Why am I just going along with the day-to-day monotony when life could literally end at any moment? And I'm hearing that from some women out there, that this forced time at home, this forced time to sit and be is forcing them to say, when all this moves on, because it will, even as scary as it feels in this moment, this too shall pass. But when all of it passes, what do I want my life to be about? The truth is that we have been running at a stressful, overbearing, overwhelming, impossible pace for way too long. We've been living in this world of do, as if we get a badge of honor for how busy we are. We have been running factories like crazy. We've been running our cars and airplanes and everything else like crazy. And we can barely keep up, right? I mean, that's what life has been. And how odd now that we are being forced to have shelter in place, as you might call it. Others are calling it a lockdown. To me, those sound like jail. One of my clients pointed this out. It's like an imprisonment sentence if you say it's a lockdown. Another way to think about this is we're all being forced to slow down. Now, that doesn't mean for some of you it is speeding up because you've got work at home. Now you are homeschooling right now. You need to make sure your kids are doing their assignments. And so I know that there's a lot going on in the home, and I do not want to discredit that at all. My heart is so with all of you who need to balance all of that right now. And even more reason why you need these stress tools, these techniques to shift the stress, shift the fear, shift the anxiety, shift the overwhelm into love, into that feminine leadership that you have within you. We have been living in a world that has honored stress, right? It's like you call somebody up and you say, "How are you?" "Oh my God, I'm so stressed out," right? Or you invite someone to dinner and say, "I can't, I'm too busy," right? It's like that has become our norm. And then we wonder why we are on more antidepressants than we've ever been on. We wonder why anxiety is the number one mental illness. We wonder why our immune systems are so compromised. We wonder why we gain so much weight. All of this is happening because this is not our natural state. It has become normal, but it is not actually natural for our bodies. So what I want to do on today's podcast is give you tools to be able to work with the stress right now, to be able to rise above it, and to be able to use this time toward your highest, best, most purposeful, most passionate, most goddessy self. Because I know that you are here for something greater. I know that you are here for purpose. I know you are here as a feminine leader. So stress, that fight-flight response, what happens with it is that it lowers our immune system. And this is a very time when we need strong immune systems. We need tank immune systems. But stress, what it does to the body is causes inflammation. And that inflammation is what our body was not made for. And that is what causes illness. It lowers our immune system. What we need right now are ways to calm down our body, to boost our immune system, and to rise above. So Josh and I were away for 10 days. We were in a little bubble when this really hit in a big way. I was the keynote speaker at Amazon's International Women's Day conference in Seattle. The day before, they called us to say that it was moving from an in-person meeting of 600 people to an online meeting. Now, as a motivational speaker, I feed off of the audience. I feed off of hearing people's laughter at my jokes or getting some feedback, nodding. And so just speaking to an empty room, I thought, oh my God, what is going to happen here? And it was such a great opportunity. I was starting to get into fear mode. Fear mode. I can't do this. This is going to stink. And it's the same as is happening right now with coronavirus. Oh my God, we can't do this. What's going to happen? I knew I needed to bring myself back to purpose. I knew I needed to rise above the fear and to actually deliver what every single person listening deserved. Yes, they were sitting at their computers at home or in the office, but they deserved the same level of energy, the same talk. Because ultimately, my purpose is to inspire and empower every single woman alive to follow her dreams, listen to her heart, feel beautiful, to feel alive. And that was my job that day. And so rather than focusing on the circumstance and letting it take me down, letting my fear brain overcome with all that was wrong and all that could go wrong. And it's unfair. Rather than any of that, I needed to rise up and say, what do I need to do? Well, here's what I did. The first thing I did is extreme self-care. I went and got myself a manicure. I put on a yummy robe. I took care of myself. I took a hot shower. Pamper, pamper, pamper. Self-care. Treating yourself the way you would just wrap yourself around one of your children is what you do for yourself. Lots of self-love, lots of self-care. The second thing I did is I meditated. Ensured that I was taking big, long, deep breaths, nourishing my body with oxygen, really getting into that meditative space of what do I want them to feel and experience in this talk? What am I here for? What do I envision as higher purpose? What do I see coming out of this, right? We want to get to the bigger picture, the bigger desire, the bigger hope, the bigger belief. And then I journaled it. And then I journaled brags. I bragged to myself about what a great speaker I am. I bragged to myself about the talk I was ready to give. I bragged to myself about how well a similar talk had gone at the Van Cleef and Arpels headquarters a week or two beforehand. I journaled all of that, how proud I am of myself. I journaled how many gratitudes I had, gratitude that we were in a beautiful hotel room, gratitude that Josh was with me, gratitude that Amazon was hiring me for this, gratitude and honor that they chose me. And then I wrote down what I was excited about. I was excited all these people were going to get to see this live recording. I was excited that I get to represent Amazon at this incredible day. I was excited that I get to represent International Women's Day. In other words, I had to pump myself up with mindset. And then I stood up, I turned on a little bit of Black Eyed Peas, and I danced and danced and danced. I just went crazy dancing and having so much fun. So that when I showed up at Amazon and I stood in the empty auditorium, I am talking about an auditorium that is built for 660 people. And in the audience was Josh and maybe 6 women who had planned the event and 3 camera people. Okay, that's it. And when I looked into the cameras, because of all of the tools I had used, the techniques to not only quote unquote manage my stress, but to rise above it as a goddess on purpose, I honestly delivered the best talk of my life. And I felt it. I could picture, because I had already pictured all of the people. There were 1,000 people watching on their screens at home or in offices. I could picture them all. And the feedback I received, we received like 275 emails. People wanting to join our newsletter list, people saying how inspiring it was, people who felt like they were right in the room. One woman wrote to me that I was the best speaker she's ever seen at Amazon, ever. Now, I share all of that with you because it took me really working with the fear, overcoming it and rising above to be on purpose. And what those people needed right then, Seattle was the first city in the United States with a concentration of COVID-19 cases. Seattle was the first city that was doing a lot of work from home and quarantines. So what those people needed in that moment wasn't for me to be afraid. What they needed was for me to be in love and me to be in light and me to be a goddess on purpose. And that is what all of us really are being called to right now. Now, I'm not saying any of that is easy, and I don't want you to ignore the facts. The facts are that this virus is spreading everywhere and that we need to keep our immune systems high. And if you have a compromised immune system, you need to really distance. The facts are that we all need to distance in order to slow this thing down. The facts are that a lot is happening with our economy. I hear you on that. Obviously, we have no control over what is happening, but you do have control over how you handle it. You do have control over your response. You know, I wear a necklace around my neck every single day that says, I choose. So how do you choose to respond to this? Do you want to respond by spending all of your extra time on Netflix and just numbing out on Netflix or candy or wine or whatever it might be for you? You could, and no judgment here. But the question is, will it serve you? Will that really serve you? Or do you want to spend this time, whatever time you have, if you're off of work or on your weekends because you can't go do other things that you would normally do? You want to spend this time really going inward and really feeling into what's my goddess on purpose story right now. What I'm seeing in many of my coaching clients is that this is giving them unprecedented time for purpose. Unprecedented time for purpose. One of my clients actually got very sick. She's not sure if it's coronavirus or not, but she has been really feeling for months now that she is deep down a healer and that she has different body techniques that heal people. And while being sick, she's been using her own techniques, different techniques of self-massage, different techniques of meditation. And she is actually healing her own body. And it's so beautiful, so powerful to listen to her. I mean, I was crying as she shared, and it was like, oh my gosh, maybe you had to get sick because this is the medicine that you have. And she said, it is. I believe it is. Another one of my clients has been called to create different herbal and plant medicines, but she hasn't had time between her child and her job. And now that the virus has hit, she wants her family to have ultimate immunity. And so she was making plant medicine for them. And it was like, oh my God, I am being forced to do this right now, even without the perfect business plan. I am creating. This is purpose. This is what people need now. They need healing. I saw another client who is so driven to spread love to everybody that this is the time to choose love over fear. And so she's going out there and saying, hey, I'm going to do this call, this free webinar on love over fear. Like, this is actually an opportunity for all of us to reach in and say, what am I here for? Because you have a message that the world needs now. Women are needed. Women's compassion, women's love, women's purpose. And I'm in absolute amazement because for months I've known that this week I was going to open up registration to my new Goddess on Purpose online course. It was always going to be the last thing that I did before maternity leave. And it's an 8-week online course. And it is specifically for women to rise right now and to really get clear on their purpose and why you're here and to start taking action forward and to come together in community, almost like a force of goddesses that are shifting and healing the world. And it just so happens to coincide with this timing. And so I'm still going to launch it this week. I'm so grateful that I've had this set up. Women have been signing up for the waitlist for this for weeks. And what I'm going to do for the first 30 people who sign up for the program is they're going to get a mini mastermind with me as a bonus, like totally free additional coaching, additional small group coaching. And that's why it has to only be 30 people. And so anyone on the waitlist is going to get first dibs at that, plus get $200 off of the course. So now is the time. If you are not on the waitlist yet, you want to email my team, josh@purposegirl.com, or go on over to the show notes. Make sure you get on the wait list now, because in just another 2 days from when this recording hits, I will be going to the wait list and giving them first dibs to be part of this exclusive mastermind and get the course at a lower price before I then go out to, the other thousands of people who are on my mail list. So Goddess on Purpose is going to be an 8-week course all about going deep into your purpose. You want to make sure you get on the wait list now. And again, this is the last thing I'll be doing before maternity leave. So you might be thinking, how do I rise above when I have so much fear in my body? Like, how do I even get there? So what happens is stress tightens your body. Okay, right? You're like, all stressed out, even if it's just something as simple as, where are my keys? You lose your keys, right? Like, I'm thinking, where are my keys? And right now, if you could see, I'm making fists and my elbows are tight. Like, everything tightens in your body when you're stressed. And then you hold on to that, right? Because it's only supposed to be in the body for 90 seconds. And then when that cortisol is in your body for more than 90 seconds, it becomes poisonous. And it actually then adds extra fat to our belly. It then kills our immune system. We can't think clearly. So the very first thing that we need to do with stress and God knows we have a lot of stress right now, is to move. Okay. Our bodies were designed when we have stress to move. Remember, our bodies are designed to fight or to flee, to run. And so now is the time, whether you are cocooning in your house or you have the ability right now in your neighborhood, in your area, to be able to be out of the house, at a safe distance from other people, your body and brain want you to move when you feel stress. A client of mine came on our call today so stressed out where, they're trying to figure out how to work from home. They're trying to implement all of this across a world. I mean, it's like very stressful, understandable. And she couldn't think clearly. I said, well, what do you want? What deep down, what do you know is your priority? And she said, I can't even think about it. I said, okay, so first let's move, right? So we stood up and we just started shaking, right? And I said, just shake it out of your body. Shake, shake, shake. I'm doing it right now. I don't know if you can hear my microphone or my ears or phones or anything, but like shake it. So all of you, if you're sitting there listening to this, if you're in your kitchen, start shaking your arms. If you're sitting in your living room, start shaking your arms. Stand up and shake your legs. Start shaking out your head. Or start run in place for 90 seconds. Remember, our bodies are designed to move that cortisol, to move that response out of our bodies in 90 seconds. And so as we shook it out and shook it out, she then was able, I said, how's that feel? She said, oh my God, it feels so good. Because what you're doing is you're moving all that stuckness and stiffness and cortisol out of your body. And therefore you're making room to even hear yourself think. What else is happening is you've now reset your brain from the stress mode into the rest mode. And in the rest mode, we can think better. In the rest mode, we have access to higher level thinking, to rational thinking. We have higher level ability to hear our own heart and our desires. And so then when she was in this different place, and of course it made her laugh and smile to be able to shake and move, right? And then I asked her, okay, now feel into, what do you really need right now? Like, what do you really desire? And she said, boundaries. She was so clear. So we talked about what that looks like, what it means. Last night, I held an online class. And in order to do the same kind of movement, I turned on Kelly Clarkson's What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Stronger. Right? That whole song. So then I said, everybody up, right? And we start dancing and dancing and dancing. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? Like we moved. And so then everybody on the call was loosened up, was in a better place, was smiling. So movement matters. We literally know from research studies that exercise of even just moderate intensity can cut down the number of colds that you get, right? 20 to 30-minute walk every day can help you to boost your immune system and stave off illness. And that's what we need right now with this virus. We need stronger immune systems. People who have strong immune systems, even if they catch the virus, they're only getting mild cold-like symptoms right now. In one study in the American Journal of Medicine, women who walked for a half hour every day for just 1 year had half the number of colds as those who didn't. Regular walking boosts our white blood cells, helps us fight infection. So right now you need to move, whether for you it's walking or it's dancing or it's turning on a video. My dear friend Shira Rubin, who owns Soul Flight, a yoga studio in New York, she's now opening up online classes. We'll put her link into the show notes. So these are opportunities for you to move, even when you are home, even when you are nesting and cocooning right now. Move. That is your first line of defense and offense. It's also really fun, especially if you make it fun. The second thing is breathing. When we are stressed, we have short breath. And what we actually know is often when we're stressed, we aren't exhaling, right? You're like holding your breath. And what we really need are clean inhales and long exhales. In fact, what we know, when you want to calm the body down, your exhale should be twice as long as your inhale. And so a great rule of thumb is to inhale for 3 and exhale for 6. And continue that pace. That will help you. The longer your exhale will help you to actually calm your body down. That tells the body we are putting the brake on right now and we are moving from stress, fight, flight mode into rest and digest mode. The best thing you can do right now is to practice healthy breathing overall. So not just when you're stressed, but in the morning, practice healthy breathing. When you are taking a shower, practice healthy breathing. You don't need extra time to practice healthy breathing. And healthy breathing, it is optimal for your heart rate variability. It is optimal if you breathe at approximately 5 breaths per minute. And what that means are 10-second total breaths. So you might inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Or inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 4, hold for 2, and continue that. And that will actually start to create a rhythm in your body that stays more in the rest and digest healthy mode, more in the natural state than in the stressed mode. So we want to be taking as many deep breaths as we can. With that, now is a time to start or to double up on your meditation practice. Now, I know because I used to not meditate. I used to think there's no way my brain can quiet down. This is ridiculous. I can't just sit here. But that is actually the whole point. Your brain doesn't have to quiet down. It is a practice of learning how to have a crazy, crazy, crazy mind and bring it back into your breath. And then your mind goes crazy, 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 and you bring it back to your breath. It's literally just a practice of noticing when you are in your fear brain, fight, flight, when your brain is going off and telling stories, and for you to bring it back in that moment. So even if it goes back and wanders again, I had a 10-minute meditation session this morning where I didn't notice until probably 9 minutes into it that my brain was off into chatter. Doesn't matter. Don't judge yourself for that. You just bring it back into this moment. Right here, right now, I'm sitting on the couch. Right here, right now, I'm inhaling. Right here, right now, I'm exhaling. It is creating a practice to be able to bring your body back into regulation at any moment. And the more you practice, it's like anything. It's like practicing soccer or practicing painting or practicing baking. The more adept you will become at it. But again, this isn't about getting an A in something. This is about learning how to really counteract that stress and bring your body to balance so that you can then get into the higher level, rising above as that goddess. A tool you might not be thinking of that can really counteract stress and really boost your immune system is smiling and laughing. This is amazing. A research study was done in 2002 that found that frequent smiling had therapeutic and health benefits. According to Dr. Mark Stibich, smiling boosts your immune systems, increases positive affect, reduces stress, lowers your blood pressure. I mean, this is like so simple. Now is a time you might be thinking, I have nothing to smile about it. Like if you just watch the stock market or you just watch politics or then don't do that. Then don't do that. Don't engage in the activities that cause you more stress. Instead, say, stock market is a long-term game. It will come back. Instead, say, this is a time for me to not watch politics if they stress me out. Now is a time for me to focus in on the things that make me smile and to trust that all will bounce back. And even more so, the more stressed out you are, the lower your ability to think. So all of this stress, it's not doing anything to help the stock market. Rather, if you had a clear mind, you would actually be able to think critically, think logically and strategically, what do I want to do about my money? But in a stress place, we can't think, oh my God, everything's falling apart. You aren't thinking logically and you're not doing anything then that's going to help you. So you want to counteract that stress with these techniques, whether it's movement, breathing, smiling, and laughing, so that you actually have access to your higher level thinking, which will allow you to take control of what you can take control of. One of the things I'm super proud of, and I was actually going to do my whole episode about it today, but times being what they are, I decided not to, is that I just found out that my book is available for pre-order on Amazon. Oh my gosh, it comes out on April 12th, and it's the first book that I've written on my own, and it's actually a compilation of my favorite fun, hilarious, inspiring, motivating, overcome obstacles quotes. And the publisher worked with these amazing illustrators, and every single page is absolutely gorgeous. They took every quote and made such a gorgeous picture out of it that you would like cut it out and literally put it into frames and hang them. And the quotes are so fun, and they will make you laugh, or they will make you say, "Oh, I'm not going to let any situation hold me down." Like, it is the full range, and I'm super proud of it. I also included in the book tons of positivity facts for you. And like I said, it is available on pre-order, and you will love it. You will love to give it. It's like the perfect gift, whether it's teachers' gifts or it's holiday gifts or Mother's Day. Like, it is the perfect gift. You will love it. The book is called Wonderful You, and I'd be so honored if you pre-ordered, and you can get the link in the show notes, and it will make you smile. So whether it's my book or it's other quote books or other comic books or anything that would make you smile and laugh right now, double, triple, quadruple down on that right now. What we know, again, this is science, is that the more you smile, the more you laugh right now, the more positivity you have, the better you will be able to think through how to handle this situation. Plus, the more you smile, the more you laugh, the more positivity you have, the better you are going to boost your immune system. And that is what we all need right now. With that, the next tool I want to offer to you is gratitude. It is so easy right now to focus on what you don't have. So easy, right? Like, I don't have my work computer. I don't have access to my gym. I don't have. Well, all that does is bring back more stress hormones into your body, lower your immune system, and frankly, just make you miserable. Instead, what we want to do right now is we want to have gratitude for what we do have. In fact, anything that you're frustrated that you don't have right now, let that be a knowing for you, a reminder to never take that thing for granted again. One of my students was saying last night that she misses going to a coffee shop with friends so much that she has so much gratitude for coffee shops. And that when this passes by, she will never take it for granted again that she gets to go to a coffee shop and sit with her friends. So let this be a moment where you are soaking in gratitude for what you do have. One of the things I'm doing in my Purpose Girls Facebook group right now is every day I'm putting a positivity prompt. A couple of days ago, it was, what are you grateful for? The next day it was, what are you hoping for? The next day it was, what is your favorite self-care routine? So every day during this crisis, I'm going to be posting that positivity prompt so that we all are staying in that place, which again is so helpful for our immune system and helping us to think more clearly, take control, and to be the light that we were born to be. So we know from research that people who record 3 gratitudes every day, and it's got to be different gratitudes, not just every day, I'm grateful for my health, I'm grateful for my family. Each day, specific gratitudes. Like, I'm super grateful that today I had a yummy kale salad with hummus for lunch. I'm super grateful that Josh did the dishes last night, right? So you want to be super specific. 3 different gratitudes every single day. If you do that for just a few weeks, it has lasting benefits up to 6 months or a year. So pause right now. What are you grateful for? What is good? When I posted this in my Facebook group, people were sharing that they're grateful right now that they do have their health. They're grateful right now for the food that they have in their cupboard and that they had the ability to afford the food. They're grateful right now for family. What are you grateful for right now? Focus on that. The other thing with gratitude is that we know from research that the more you think about something, the more attention you give it, the more your behaviors move in that direction, and therefore you create more of it in your life. So if you are focusing on what you don't have, you're focusing on the frustrations, that is just going to keep multiplying. That's all you're going to see everywhere. But if you focus on what you do have and what is good, you are going to focus on looking for more of that in your life. And then you're going to multiply it. Now, remember, this situation with the coronavirus is temporary. So in a couple of months, whenever that is, we will come out of this. And what mindset do you want to be in when this passes through? First of all, how healthy do you want to be during it? I want you to be super healthy. That's why I'm giving you all these tools and tips and science. And as we come through, I want you to be empowered in a place of love and gratitude and smiling and being a change, positive agent, goddess on purpose in the world. With that, mindset is critically important right now. We know from research that thoughts become things, okay, energetically, as well as that when you think about something, you actually are creating a pattern because every thought that you have leads to a feeling, which leads to a behavior. For example, if the thought you have is, this sucks, it's stupid and unfair, the feeling you have is frustrated and angry. And then the behavior you'll take is probably like numbing out on drinking or pot or watching TV or something like that, or taking it out on your kids or taking it out on yourself in critical ways, whatever it might be. But it's certainly not proactive, productive, awesome purpose moving forward. But if you have the thought, this is temporary and there's an opportunity in this for me to go inward and connect or to connect with my loved ones, then the feeling is one of hope. The feeling is one of gratitude. And then the behavior is to sit and journal, or the behavior is to call a loved one, or the behavior is to spend 5 minutes of quiet time with your child or your pet. The behavior then is to say, I have these dreams that have been knocking at my door, that book has been wanting me to write it for so long. Now is the time. So your thoughts literally can self-sabotage you, or your thoughts can support you. So now is the time to check in with your thoughts and to be creating the thoughts that will create the behavior that you want. Nature. Now, I know some of you are living in areas where you're not allowed to go out in nature. And so I want to just send you so much love. And I want you to be looking at pictures of nature. Literally, that will help you. Okay. I want you to go online, look at pictures of trees and flowers. I want you to listen to birds online. I want you to listen to the sound of waves. And if you can go out in nature right now, then I want you to take that walk. What we know is that nature has a calming effect. Ryan Wisnett wrote an article for Positive Psychology News Daily and had gathered a lot of research and found that exposure to nature gives us reduced stress, better health, faster recovery from illness, improved memory, more creativity. Nature is actually where our early ancestors' bodies and brains developed. And so it's very calming for us. So the more you can get yourself into nature, even if you can't physically go outside in nature right now, you can be listening to it, be looking at it. There was a research study of people who had moved to greener areas or who had moved to less green areas. And what they found is that people who moved to greener areas had significantly better health in 3 years after their move. So we know that nature matters. Get it. Get your vitamin N any way you can. And the last thing I want to offer as a tool is community. Now, we are being told right now to isolate. And I'd love to shift that language, reframe it, that even though you are home, this is not a time to isolate. This is a time to connect. We know that isolation actually leads to depression, anxiety, for some people, suicide. It lowers your immune system because humans are social creatures. Our ancestors, like I said, their way of being was in village and community. So even if it's across a screen, a Zoom screen, a FaceTime screen, even if it is on the phone, now is a time to connect. We need sisterhood more than ever. A research study of women who were breast cancer patients, what they found is that those with close friends lived longer and were healthier than those who did not. So now is not a time to isolate yourself. Even if you are at home, quote unquote, alone, it is a time to reach out even more. Reach out to a girlfriend. If you don't have anyone to reach out to me. Okay, go onto my website, send me an email. It is a time to connect. Join the Purpose Girls Facebook group. Join the new Goddess on Purpose course that is coming out. Get yourself on that wait list by emailing us. Ensure that you are in sisterhood. You are being supported. You are being held. You are being loved right now. I got on my empowered group call today, and every woman it was like you could see the tension just roll off her shoulders as soon as we were on video screen with one another. And a woman said, I'm just so grateful we have each other. And we had this set up before this whole coronavirus. Another woman said, I feel better just looking at you women. So being in company with another, even if it's on a screen, will help you. So find community. Now is the time. It is so important right now that we are all using as many tools as we can. In fact, it is a time to double, triple down on your self-care tools. Whether for you that is doubling down on your gratitude journaling or doubling down on the number of times that you reach out to sisterhood or you join sisterhoods, or for you that is, doubling down on the amount of movement that you do, running in place or, watching an online video or taking an online yoga class, taking walks. Now is the time because it's going to help boost your immune system, which we all need right now to fight this virus. It's also going to help your mental ability to be able to take control of what you can control. And that is going to help you not just bounce back or be resilient or just manage. I hate that word, manage through this time. It's going to help you rise above so that you truly step into your feminine leadership at this time by saying, you know what? I've been wanting to write songs. Now is the time for me to write songs. You know what? I've been wanting to paint. Now is the time for me to paint. You know what? I've been thinking about starting a business. Now is the time for me to do that research. You know what? I've been thinking about starting a yoga practice. Now is the time. I've been wanting to uncover my purpose. Now is the time. Right? Those dreams, now is the time. And we are needed more now than ever. And so if you put these tools into practice, you will not only be able to manage the stressful time, you will turn this pain into great purpose where you are that feminine leadership, that goddess on purpose that the world needs now. And believe me, the world needs your light. The world needs your love. The world needs your positivity, your compassion. The world needs your expertise now. That's how we're going to heal this world collectively. Beyond a vaccine, collectively, all of us sharing our wisdom, our gifts, sharing our love and compassion, being the leaders for our families and our communities. That's it. And I know every single one of you is a goddess on purpose. Every single one of you has this feminine leadership in you. And I'm so excited to watch us rise. And so with that, my love, I hope this episode of the Purpose Girl podcast was helpful for you. If it was, pause just for 60 seconds, head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, leave a 5-star review, share with the world why you love the Purpose Girl podcast so that more women find us. Of course, be sure you get on the wait list for Goddess on Purpose. You do that by emailing Josh at purposegirl.com. The people on the wait list are going to get first dibs at being the first people in the course. And those people are going to get not only a couple $100 off, but they're also going to get access to a mastermind that I'm adding in for free. The most important thing you can do is to share the Purpose Girl podcast with every woman you know, because that's how we change the world, one woman at a time. With that, my love, please, please, please take good care of yourself. May you and all that you love and everyone around the world be healthy. May our planet be healthy. May our animals be healthy. May you love yourself. May you live purposefully. And truly, may you love life, even now. Bye for now.